All right. Thank you for everyone that's joined us for the North Carolina State press conference. We'll begin with an opening statement from head coach Wes Moore, followed by questions for the players. Once the players are dismissed, questions for the head coach will also follow. Reminder for those in attendance, in person and on Zoom, to also list your organization before asking your question. And those on Zoom, remember to use the raised hand function. So, Coach, go ahead with your opening statement.
Well, first of all, I'll give Princeton a lot of credit. They fought back. They hit some big shots down the stretch. Our kids, I thought, played hard. They battled, and I've got to do a better job, be honest, down the stretch and make better decisions, put us in a better position to finish that game off. So, it's a tough loss, heartbreaking. And, again, proud of our players, the way they competed, and tip my hat to Princeton.
Media, go ahead and start with questions for the players. We'll start with John.
John Kuhn, Associated Press. When you look at the final 6 minutes of the game, you guys didn't score a point over the final 5:44. Were you getting the looks you wanted, or was Princeton's defense just kind of keeping you from really getting into the offensive sets that you wanted to get into?
I feel like we got the shots that we wanted. Some of them were rimmed in and out, but their defense was good, but it was just like I feel like we did run the right stuff, and our shots just wasn't falling in that stretch. And we had good transition looks as well.
Next question for the players. Reminder on Zoom to use the raise hand function if you would like to ask a question. All right. Thank you, student athletes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up for coaches' questions.
John Kuhn, Associated Press. When you kind of look at the fourth quarter overall, I mean, what kind of changed for you guys offensively in the fourth quarter? Because, previously in the second and third quarter, you were getting good shots. You were being able to knock things down.
I'll be honest. I need to see the film, like I said, I kicked myself for a couple of decisions there in the last few seconds. Probably should have just tried to get the ball in bounds and draw the foul and go to the foul line instead of going for it, so to speak. So I regret that. We had a lot of turnovers. We ended up with 20 turnovers in the game, and I thought there was times in that fourth quarter where maybe in transition or whatever we made some tough decisions and ended up turning the ball over. So, that's part of it as well. But and like I said, you got to give Princeton a lot of credit. They did a good job defensively, helping, getting in the gaps. We only went and got 4 offensive rebounds, so that's tough too when you're not able to get some boards and get some second chance points. So all those things contributed, but I need to probably look at it and see to.
Next question will come from Jen Hatfield on Zoom.
Hi, Coach. Jen Hadfield with the Next. You talked yesterday about how you would have to balance focusing on Caitlin Chen and not letting other folks get free for Princeton. How challenging was it today to have Grace Stone and Julia Cunningham kind of stepping up so much in the scoring department alongside Chen?
I think you're asking about them having other people score besides Chen. Was that it? Was that the gist of it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, again, we knew Stone could shoot it. I mean, she's shooting right at 40% from three. We just didn't do a good job of getting to her. And, the last one she hit, obviously that was a tough one there. We were trying to do some switching, but, we just didn't get to her. So, probably should have I thought the last one Chen hit, I should have probably stressed in the timeout. Let's don't help off of her. And we did help, and again, they both hit big threes. I mean, that was the ball game. You had a 5-point lead, and they both hit threes. So those two in particular, but Santa Rosa, she obviously hit a couple as well. So Yeah, I mean, they got, when you look at in conference play, they had like 4 kids shooting between 35% and 40% from 3. So we definitely respected those kids. We just didn't do a good job of defending them.
Hey, Coach. Isabel Rodriguez with the Daily Princetonian. Just one quick one. I'm curious for the players that were on the court, what it means that they were able to kind of battle it to the end, even without Diamond Johnson on the court today.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've been without her for, almost a month now, and so, this time of year there's no consolation prizes. So, and the fact that we had a lead and had an opportunity to control the game, and so really, yeah, we can't get much out of that. I'm proud of our kids the way they competed today, and I thought they, gave it everything they had. And obviously, we had a short bench. Really only 4 guards out there. Isaiah tweaked her ankle a little bit, so we only had 3 guards. So, again, it was tough, but we had opportunity, and we didn't quite finish it.
Next question will come from Rob McLam on Zoom.
Yes, Wes. Rob McLam from Inside Pack Sports. My question to you, sir, I know this is a tough loss. When you go home, what approach do you take in terms of rebooting and focusing on next season? What's the approach in the next few days?
One more time, what was that before? What's our approach?
Yes, sir. What is your approach over the next few days in terms of rebooting and preparing for next season? What is this, plan, if you have one?
Well, I mean, again, it's a new era. So now the transfer portal is up and running, opened up Monday. So, we have to start looking at our roster and how we want to try to rebuild that. Again, right now, just still really disappointed in not being able to finish this game off and help them get over the hump. I mean, we were right there, and so that's the tough part about losing a game like this as a coach. You second guess everything you did, and so I'll have to live with that for a few days. But yeah, definitely gotta at some point look at our roster and how we want to try to build it from there.
Next question will come from Jen Hatfield.
Coach, can you just talk us through that last offensive possession that you had as the buzzer was about to sound, what you were looking for?
Yeah, we, again, obviously it didn't work very well, so it was a bad decision on my part. But we were trying to, get an attack towards the baseline. They did a great job of taking that away. That's what's tough. You got a few different things that you've worked on all year, and you want to try to run in those situations. And like I said, the one that really bothers me is the one with about 12 seconds when we had the ball inbounds pass tipped and ended up turning it over. Like I said, we had a 2-point lead at that point. Now, looking back, I wish I'd have been more conservative and got it in and let them foul us and have an opportunity to go clinch the game at the foul line. So that's the one that bothers me, but also the last one. Yeah, in hindsight, wish I'd have ran something different, but we were trying to get downhill over there and then also have somebody in the weak side corner if the drive wasn't developing all the way to the rim. But again, should have done something different.
Final question will come from Rob McLam.
Rob McLam, Inside Pack Sports West. Just your thoughts on Brown, Turner, Boyd, and Hobby, their 4 years, what they've contributed to NC State.
Yeah, all 3 of them were a part of, 4 NCAA teams, 3 ACC champions, tournament-wise, and then also regular season championship. So they have quite a legacy and, did a lot of great things for our university and our program. And like I said, I just hate it that it ended this way and that I couldn't help them, at least take another step and see where that led us. But, yeah, I appreciate what they've done and all that they've contributed to our program and the way they've carried themselves.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, welcome everybody to the Princeton postgame press conference. First off, congratulations on the win. We will begin with an opening statement from head coach Berube, followed by questions for the players. Once the players are dismissed, questions for the head coach will follow. Reminder to everybody in person and on Zoom to say your organization first. And also a reminder to those joining us on Zoom to use the raised hand function if you'd like to ask a question. So we'll start with an opening statement.
Wow. Yeah, just so thrilled with that that win. I mean, that's what it's about at this time is getting wins, no matter how it happened or what it looked like. And I'm just so proud and yeah, pleased. I don't even so many words to describe my team. The plays that they made, and we certainly didn't play a full great 40 minutes of basketball, but we made the plays we needed to down the stretch. The defense came up big and then made some really big shots when we needed to. Certainly NC State was really tough. They're long, they're athletic, they defend well, they're tough, they rebound well, and yeah, again, it just feels a little bit like our Ivy League championship win, where we just had to grind it out and just get really gritty and just made the plays and made the shots, and we're advancing, and that's what it's about. And yeah, just so happy for the Tigers.
We'll open questions for the players with Jen Hatfield on Zoom.
Hey everybody, Jen Hatfield with the Next. Grace, maybe I'll start with you, but Julia, if you could weigh in on this as well. Just Grace, on that last play where you hit the three, can you walk me through that and what was running through your head? And then Julia, what was running through your head during that play as well?
Yeah, I think, we've practiced end of game situations. We've kind of been in tight games all year, and that's a play that we've practiced over and over. That's a shot that I've taken in a game before, and made. Yeah, and I think my teammates they have all the confidence in the world in me, and I knew that if I missed that shot, they were getting the offensive rebound. So it's really hard not to shoot with confidence when you have teammates like mine. But yeah, I think before the play, I knew what shot we had to get, and when it happened, I blacked out, and then afterwards, just a bunch of hugs. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're in the huddle, and we're like, guys, we only needed two. We get out there, hammer screen for Grace, hits a three. It was, same exact moment as Columbia. We have a lot of faith in her, and I think running that play, we have a lot of options, and that one ended up being a great one.
Next question.
Matthew Coles, Associated Press. There were two stretches in the second half, one where you missed 12 shots in a row, another one, I think you were 1 of 13. How do you keep your confidence up? They're up by 8 with just a few minutes left. How did you keep your confidence up for that stretch run?
Listen, we've been through that in the past. We've gone through stretches where we've struggled to score, and we know that our defense is going to keep us in games. And I think throughout that whole entire period, we were missing shots we normally make, but they were good shots. We knew that we wanted to keep getting them, but we knew that we could get stops on the other end. And NC State made a great run. They pushed us. We were tired at the end of that game, and the idea is just to keep shooting. And I think, again, like I said, we have confidence in one another to make shots. I have confidence in Caitlin Chen to score when we need her, Julia, anybody, all the way to Ellie and Maddie. Like, I know that we can get shots when we need to. And, it's just a matter of keep shooting and keep executing.
What did you guys do on defense to keep them scoreless for the last 5-6 minutes?
Yeah, defense travels. I think that's our motto, and I think that's what we're going to fall back on for the rest of this tournament. I think at some point, you get to the end of the game, and we just looked at each other, and we were like, all right, they can't score anymore. This is our time. This is what we practice, all year long for, these moments. So 30 seconds of defense, we just looked at each other, locked in, and, we knew their scout really well and what they were going to look to at the end of the game, and we just executed that really well.
Hey Hey, y'all. Congratulations. Isabel Rodriguez with the Daily Princetonian. Grace, I want to flash you back real fast to the game against Rhode Island where you hit Princeton's first buzzer beater in 20 years. And now all the way to this moment, I guess, for you, what has this season meant and how have you kind of persevered through everything?
Yeah, listen, in our end of game plays, we have a lot of different options, and that's because we have a lot of really good scorers on our team, and that makes it hard to defend at the end of a game. And so I think that in any of the scenarios where it's come down to a basket, I think, it's about being aggressive and just taking what the defense is giving you. And I think that for us, we all are clutch in those moments. But, to be able to pull out really gritty wins and to help my team to the record that we have is obviously like such an honor for me. And to be able to have this season, with my besties is just the best thing ever. Yeah, you.
And she's clutch.
You're at the top of my list.
Next question will come from William Alden on Zoom. William, you're still muted.
Hello, Bill Alden with the Town Topics. Can you hear me?
Yep.
It's been a historic weekend already for Princeton basketball. Did you guys draw any inspiration from the men's rally yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. We were watching in the locker room right before our practice. I think, watching them and all the coverage they're getting from the media now is so well deserved. And, we were looking at that and we looked at each other and we were like, all right, we're next. Now it's our turn. And I think it's just really special, a special week to be a Tiger.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
And just one more about Madison. I mean, she had kind of a rough game at the beginning, but obviously had those two really big plays. What does it mean for you two as seniors to see her take on those big moments as a first year?
Listen, she's a freshman and she's come into a starting role and she's had to learn and adapt and take our criticism, our teaching, and she's done so and more. And, she's normally a scorer for us, but she's done everything else in this game. And, that's what we needed. That stop at the end was the biggest stop of the game, and we needed her to do that. And that's how you know that we're locked in 1 through 16. And she's a testament to, just putting your head down and grinding as a freshman, and you'll see results.
Yeah, absolutely. I think from her, that's just huge. And I think it builds her confidence, builds our confidence in that group that we're going to get a stop at the end of the game. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And I think all of us looking at each other, we know that we're going to have each other's help and we're going to have each other's backs. And, she just came up huge in the last minute.
All right, players, you guys are done.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, players.
All right, next up we'll start with questions for the coach. First question will go to Jen Hatfield on Zoom.
Hi, Carla. Congrats.
Thanks, Jen.
About that play with Grace, you obviously have a lot of options for who you can go to in situations like that, and you seem to come back to Grace a lot for last-second plays. So what about her makes you want to put the ball in her hands so much at the end of games?
She's got ice in her veins. She has that look in her eyes, and she's going to make a play. She's going to hit a shot. I think NC State did such a great job of just hounding Caitlin so much. She wasn't getting any, looks. It was really hard for her, and so that's Grace's time. And Maddie, she had that steal at the end, but that was her screen. That was a hammer screen that we set for Grace, and that was a play that we had run in our Columbia game at home and executed it well then, and just said that. Let's do it again. And hey, this is for a three, but Maddie could have slipped. If Caitlin felt good about her with the ball, maybe she could have gone one-on-one. But I think Grace's teammates have so much confidence in her that she's gonna make that shot. So just executed it really well. I'm really, really proud of them.
Next question.
Matthew Coles, Associated Press. So tell me what you saw on the last after the basket by Grace. What did you see on that defensive stop?
Yeah, I think we were trying to. We had seen that that run before and had an idea that if James came off of an Iverson cut, that she would catch and just rip going left, which is her dominant hand. And and so we just told Maddie just be heads up to that, and definitely cut that off, and she did, and got her hand on the ball, and that was the play. And then we were all I think everybody dove on the ball at that point, and big stops. That was the end, but there were some big stops before that too. And we were trying to foul at one point to get them on the line. We had only had 2 team fouls, and then came up with a big steal. Right, that was huge. So that set up the play for Grace. That's just my team. They love defense. They love getting stops. They love doing it together, and always helping each other out. And we got enough to win the game.
And then what happened after the game? You look like you're a little bit drenched.
It was a water party for sure. Just so much fun in the locker room. They work so hard, and so it's so much fun for them to just douse me with water. If that's what they feel like, that's how they want to celebrate, then I'm all for it. They're just so happy. We're looking forward to this Sunday. We have a big task ahead of us with Utah. We're going to enjoy this for a little bit, and then it's back to work.
Next question.
Hey, Carla. I'm just curious about the kind of post matchup that Ellie was dealing with for the majority of that game, and just kind of how you worked around it, and eventually, we managed to kind of slow things down in the last 5 minutes, and what was working in the last 5 minutes that maybe wasn't working prior to.
Yeah, she just kept working. I think she got caught on the high side a couple of times. She said there was some pushing in there, and it was just using her quickness, getting around, because that's what she has. She's certainly not going to be out muscling, their posts. They're so strong and so good inside, and they finish really well. But she had some help from her teammates digging in and doubling, and she just kept her hands straight up, and we didn't want to, we didn't have fouls in the end, and she's just really scrappy, and had some jump balls and some blocks and some steals, and it's just Ellie being Ellie. And same thing on Sunday with Peely. Just really strong post play again. We're going to see, and but we have a lot of faith in her, and her teammates help her out a lot in there.
And then just one more. You said it was a tough night for Caitlin, but she still ended up with 22 points and a handful of everything else. What does that mean that she can kind of go out there and, even if she's having a rough shooting night, still be so productive?
Yeah, that's Caitlin. The ball's in her hands a lot, and she was making plays. That 3 that she hit, it was a great kick out for that 3, and she's just a playmaker. She's got ice in her veins too. No moment is too big. She never, hangs her head. She's always positive. You see that she plays with a lot of joy, and made some big plays as well. That's our point guard, and I'm really proud of her for just sticking with it tonight.
Next question will go to Jen Hatfield on Zoom.
Carla, just wanted to ask you about kind of the last member of the big 3 in the scoring column. Julia, 14 points, 8 rebounds against 3 turnovers. Seemed to me like a very mature performance. What do you feel like you got from her, and how important was she in pulling this out?
Yeah, she had a couple big 3s in the first half. Just really smart with the ball, made some great passes. I think she defended well too. It's always an all-around game that Julia gives us, and it's she's just that calming presence out there too, and just a great senior leadership that we get from her night in, night out. So she had a little bit of foul trouble, and I was a little worried because we need her on the court. She played really disciplined, and just made some great plays for her teammates.
Just one more, if I could squeeze it in. Seemed like you guys took about 1 million charges tonight, which I know is kind of your MO, but felt especially high tonight. How much do you think those either disrupted NC State's rhythm, or gave you guys momentum, or something along those lines?
Yeah, those fire us up, right? Those are momentum changers. We needed to do that. They're fast, and they were big and strong, and so we needed to especially with their posts. We needed to slide our feet and just get good position and take those charges. Something we talked about it, and both Grace and Ellie love to take charges. They love to put their body on the line, and they did a great job. Those were huge for us.
Next question will go to William Alden on Zoom. William, you're
Bill,
still muted.
Unmute, Bill.
Here we go. Sorry about that. Congratulations, Carla. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Last year, you missed the Sweet 16 by a point. Do you feel like this year's group is ready to get over that hump?
Yes. We're gonna get back to work. My staff and I tonight, and then the team tomorrow. And like I said, Utah's a really great team. They've had an unbelievable, season in the Pac-12, and they've got great skilled players and shooters, and they put up a lot of points. So our defense needs to be really, really solid. And I feel good. I always feel great, coming, to the game with my team, and so I'm going to feel like that on Sunday, and I'm sure it's going to be a great crowd here. It was tonight for their game, and some stuck around for ours, and just looking forward to the challenge, and I'm excited for that game, and hopefully, we make it to that Sweet 16. It's been something that we've talked about. We've been, talking about one more, right? At the beginning of the year, because we lost by a point, one basket, and we're going to give it our all on Sunday, and we can't wait to play again.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.